Hello everyone, welcome to an update video on my cancer situation. Um, if this is the first time you've heard of it, probably be worth watching the other video first. But if you don't want to do that, then in short, found out I have cancer. Probably will survive. Still looking that way. And that's basically the gist of that entire video, and that one's like 20 minutes long. So if you want to watch it, feel free to do so. But um, yeah, so I figured I'd do a bit of an update. I think the last time um, or when I made that video, I hadn't started treatment yet. I've now finished treatment. It's the 6th of July. I'm not sure if this is going up tonight or not, but um, probably not. But it's the 6th of July. I finished my treatment last Tuesday, so that was the 2nd of July. As I described in the previous video, the treatment was 25 times from Monday to Friday every week for 5 weeks, radiation and chemo pills. So yeah, going to the hospital every day basically, but the actual radiation, like it takes like 5 or 6 minutes. It's like lying on the actual table. It's so short, which is I didn't expect that really. Um, yeah, I guess to describe it, like you don't feel anything as it happens. It's more that I feel I had. Obviously, there's effects afterwards, partially from radiation, partially from the chemo. I don't know if I mentioned this in the previous video. I think I did. But it wasn't the intensive chemo that I went for, so no hair loss, thankfully, because my hair is luscious and beautiful. Um, but yeah, other things. Obviously, my intestines are even worse than they were. Again, if you haven't watched the previous video, it's colon cancer specifically um, in my rectum, so like 2 centimeters away from my asshole. Um, I guess I wanted to say this. I wish this was a joke, but it's not. I just came out of the shower 15 minutes ago for the second time today because I shit myself. Not for the first time. I just want to be truthful with you guys. I mean, it's not like I need to divulge that information, but I feel like I want to kind of take you guys along the journey with me. Um, but yeah, that happens not super frequently. It's not like I do it every day, but sometimes I literally can't make it down one floor to the toilet. I just feel something's coming. I instantly get up, try and make it to the toilet, but the movement of, um, I guess, like I can kind of describe it. I don't know if many of you have children, but when you have a baby who is a little filled up with gas, what you do is you move their legs like a bicycle, kind of, and then they'll usually fart. You kind of have a similar motion, I guess, when you go downstairs because you're moving your legs in a similar rhythm. Um, and yeah, so I often can't even, well, not often, it's happened a few times, but I can't make it down the stairs without, it coming out. So that's wonderful. Um, I just realized I didn't test if this microphone is the right microphone. I certainly hope so. Yeah, looks like we're good. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going and hope that this isn't horrible audio. Um, so yeah, that's what's been going on. Otherwise, yeah, I'm generally not feeling super well. I'm pretty irritable. Fortunately for my wife, especially, she's having to pick up a lot of the housework. I mean, she generally does a lot of housework anyway. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, even more so than before because yeah, any motion stuff. I just want to sit down all day because the moment I move around, I can't walk my dog for more than like 5 minutes because the moment well, after a minute or two of walking, I immediately feel something's gonna come soon, so I need to run to a toilet. So that's pretty disastrous too. But yeah, what I was saying. So the actual radiation stuff, don't really feel anything during it. Basically, what I had to do. So I think I said last time I got tattoos. So I have two on my side and then one just above my my member. Um, they use that to line up the scans essentially, or yeah, to make sure that it's always the same exact place that they're putting the radiation on, I guess, or aiming the radiation at. So I have to wait, but usually the waiting was less than a minute. Like usually when I got there, I was even like, let's say my appointment was at 12 o'clock. I get there at 11:55. Usually I was able to go in within like 2 minutes. So they were often very quick, which was very nice. I go into a little changing room. I have to take off my pants, can keep on my underwear, thankfully, and my shoes obviously have to take off. Then I go to the machine, lay down. They align me so I'm perfectly where I need to be with those dots aligned. Then when it starts, the operators move out of the room. They first do, I think they said it was a CT scan, but basically just a quick scan. Like all the machinery goes around my body, which takes about a minute or so. I counted it a few times. It usually came out to like 56 to 58 seconds. And with that, they measured whether my bladder was filled up enough or not, which because it had to be, my bladder needed to be filled up to push down my on my intestines, basically, which put them in the right position. So I always needed to drink a lot before I went to the hospital. Then after that was done, usually lay there for about a minute and a half or something while they're checking that stuff. And then after that, the machine would start making the radiation noises, I guess, which is kind of interesting. And then it would go around twice, one time clockwise, one time anti-clockwise. I think that might have been reversed for you because I'm mirror camera, etc. And then that was it basically. So it would go around twice, each one taking just about a minute or so, and then there was 10-20 seconds between each rotation going around. But yeah, so basically laying there for about 5 or 6 minutes. It really wasn't that long. It was more annoying that I had to drive to the hospital every day for about 20 minutes or so. But yeah. So that's that. But that's all done now. Chemo pills have all been taken, all 200 of the bastards. I'm still going to be feeling the effects of the treatment for another week and a half or so, maybe about a week now. They said up to around 2 weeks after you finish your treatment, which I said was Tuesday, the 2nd of July. It's now the 6th, so we're about half a week further, so another 1.5 week or so before I should start feeling a bit better, I guess. Or at least, better in terms of I won't feel the effects of the treatment anymore. There will still be continuing issues because the tumor is still there, obviously. It should start shrinking now. That was the whole point of the treatment, obviously. So that will hopefully get better over time, and my going number 2 will become a bit easier because that's been the main problem. I still go to the toilet 8 times a day or whatever, probably. It depends. It comes in waves, I guess. Usually when I wake up in the morning, I have to go instantly. Like I wake up and then within a minute, all of a sudden I feel like, oh, right, yep, toilet time. That's when usually I have the biggest dump, literally, I guess. Then I take a shower. Then I usually want to go walk my dog, but either I have to go before or after because I don't know, just from the movement of showering and doing stuff. And then usually within another half an hour I need to go again, and then usually I'm kind of, I don't know, not empty necessarily, but my body is like, okay, I guess that's enough for now. So then I can usually sit around for a couple hours, okay. But the moment I stand up, at that point, it's like it's gathered all up again, and I have to go again. So it usually comes in waves of, the more I move, the more I have to go, which is really frustrating. Which is why I try to sit anywhere for as long as possible. I'm reading a lot recently. Sometimes when I feel well enough, I play some games. I've recorded a few more Mass Effect episodes. Recorded Tomb Raider, the 20-something, not remaster, but the redo. I've Let's Played that twice before, I realized, but I'm doing it for a third time because I want to get into the other 2. Although that Steam that I had has kind of gone down a bit again, so I do want to finish that, but if I'm not going to record the other 2 campaigns afterwards, I'm not sure if I'll even release it. But either way, I still have videos from pre-realizing or pre-knowing I had cancer. So they're still like all the Assassin's Creed and the Mass Effect videos you're seeing right now are still from before I found out I had cancer. This is April and before, basically, and we're July now. So older videos, but still recent in my memory anyway. And I have recorded some more Mass Effect since then. I'm almost finished with that now. I think about 3 or 4 episodes until I'm like done with Mass Effect 2, and then I'm gonna continue on Mass Effect 3. There was this game that came out like a year ago apparently, but it's becoming really popular recently called Sovl, Sovl, I think it was, which I started playing a bit of as well. Really fun, like really fun. So it's kind of like Total War Warhammer, but much simpler. And it's the greenskins are just called the orcs, and the empire is called human something. I don't know, whatever. But basically, fun little tactical game. But not actually like you don't see your units in detail and stuff. It just blocks of. But it looks really fun. I'm sure many of you will heard of it by now because it's become super popular recently. Anyway, that's besides the point for now. Other than that, yeah. So generally throughout the day, especially the last week or so, I've been feeling really bad after like 2:30, 3 o'clock or something. For some reason, I have like a massive, just feel like shit. Now I just want to lay down and go to bed. And I have been going to bed really early recently. Today I can't. I'm wearing orange because it's the quarterfinal today, Netherlands versus Turkey. So that's going to be exciting. That'll be at 9 o'clock. And 9 o'clock is like, at this point, it's late for me. Like, I can barely stay up at that point. But I've been trying to. Yesterday was France versus Portugal, and I stayed up for the 90 minutes. And then when it's extra time, I was like, fuck it, I can't keep my eyes open. So I went to sleep. And then I found out this morning France went through, which is good for them. Yeah, so just generally really tired. Not a lot of energy. Yeah, just not feeling great in general, but it's all stuff that I was prepared for. I think there were times during the treatment that it was much worse, but in a different way. To tell you another fun story, I guess, or not fun, but about a week ago or so, I think it was Sunday. Yeah, Sunday the 30th of June or something. Was that? Yeah, 30th of June. Yeah. Oops. I guess my stomach was really like, and my intestines and everything was just super filled up with food. And I guess it hadn't been coming out as well as I thought. So I had somewhere in the middle, like I couldn't go to sleep because I wasn't feeling well, and then you start having cramps, which just regular cramps. Everyone's had those. But yeah, I went to the toilet and it just got worse and worse, and I had these like waves of incredible pain, feeling nauseous, sweating, that kind of stuff. And then basically by the end of it, I have never seen a toilet bowl so full of shit, which was like legit. I was like proud of my work, if you know what I mean. Like I had legit never seen that much shit. It was insane. I lost a kilo from that shit alone. I think it was ridiculous. I know it's not really a fun conversation, or like it's not a nice thing to say, but yeah, it was ridiculous. But that was very relieving, I guess, or whatever you call it. Like I felt good after that, I suppose. But yeah, that thankfully hasn't been happening as much or anymore since then. Now I've realized like it's been coming out easier. I've started out using more laxation stuff. That I haven't mentioned that yet. So I've been using that every day for the last 5 weeks or so. I started a little bit after I started treatment because it was becoming a problem. Lots of pain with going to the toilet. So they recommended to me that I keep using. I was supposed to be using it anyway, but I kind of stopped because I didn't think I needed to anymore. But then yeah, I needed to, and now I've been upping that because of what happened Sunday as well. So I've been using more of that, and that's probably also the reason why sometimes I can't quite make it to the toilet because I use that stuff, and then at a certain point, my body's just like, oh right, now I'm gonna push it all out if you don't mind. I don't know where you are, but better make it to a toilet fast. And sometimes I can't. Right, so I think that's about it. as for the future, I think I went over it in the first video a little bit, but I have, I guess, a bit more detail now. So as I said in that video, there's about a 90% chance that I will need to have an operation. That I still don't know whether that's the case or not. They're probably, I guess, finding out on the 14th of August. That's when I have, well, or I'll find out later, but that's when I have another CT scan, an MRI scan, and another endoscopy. So they're going to go up with a camera again, which is fun. Honestly, like I've been legitimately saying this, like there's a 10% chance I don't have to have an operation, which means they're not going to remove my rectum. But that means that I would have a quarterly endoscopy. So quarterly, they're going to do that with a camera up my ass. And I've legitimately said, like, honestly, even if I even if I get lucky enough not to need an operation, I might still opt for it anyway if that's an option, because I'm really not looking forward to that. And it's obviously, I'm also not looking forward to having my shit come out of the side of my stomach via a stoma. But it's not like neither option is great, obviously. But yeah, that's basically where I'm at, because the scopies are some of the worst things I've experienced in life. It's just not fun. So yeah. But that's, yeah, so the 14th of August is when I have those things. So then soon after that, I'll know whether I'm going to have an operation or not, I guess. I think that's what we're finding out at that point. That's the whole point of them, I think. And then they said to me that the operation would likely take place around 12 weeks after I've had my last treatment. So that's 12 weeks after the 2nd of July, which I think I looked up before was around the 24th of September. I think that was 12 weeks. So end of September, which is just after my birthday on the 21st. I should have the operation, which will then remove my my rectum. Like, yeah, it's kind of weird, because in Dutch it's your endodarm. Darm is intestine. It's like a part of the intestine, but in English it's just straight up rectum, which is like, it's a completely different word, not intestine something, but just rectum. But I'm pretty sure that's the translation. It's just the last bit of your intestine. Of your large intestine, I guess. So they're removing that, and then they attach the intestine, the end of your the end of your intestine to your stomach, and make a hole there, and then that's where you're. For those who don't know, I'm sure most of you will realize what it is. But yeah, so I think that's all the information I have for now. Yeah, that's about it. So as I said, videos are still continuing. It's obviously a super irregular schedule right now, because I've just, whenever it's mostly me just not remembering, because I am on my computer, not as much as I would like to, but yeah, sometimes, and then I just don't remember to actually upload a video. Well, my videos are all uploaded, like many of them are uploaded. I just need to actually change the title and set a schedule, basically. But I keep forgetting to do that. But there's a lot of videos that are still going to go up. So like, there will be many videos. There will be some still that in which I don't know that I have cancer yet. And then later on, I think the ones that I have recorded where I did know, I started it by saying, oh yeah, obviously I found out I have cancer, blah, blah. But that's whatever. Either way, not a lot of you are watching that anyway. Well, I should say I reinstalled Free Kingdoms. Not saying I'm going to do anything with that, but kind of been tempted recently. Still want to continue a certain Shogun 2 campaign, the last one that I was doing. I think it was the Yari Ashigaru or Yari Amazing Challenge, or whatever the hell it was, or Ashigaru Challenge. Still want to continue that one. That was sponsored. Yeah, things have happened. And other than that, yeah, just, things are gonna come out as they come out. Oh, I guess another fairly sizable update, I suppose. So I said I started a new job in February. My contract has not been renewed. It's not been because of the cancer, although I would have totally understood if it was, because I just started there, and then 3 months later found out I have cancer. It's because the whole company is being restructured, essentially. So we kind of had 6 people plus a whole bunch of freelancers. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but basically the whole point was, like, you got new customers. There was a few people who focused on getting new customers. They've been let go. They were actually the original creators of the company. They sold the company at the end of last year, and now they've been fired essentially, which is kind of wild. But yeah, they were in charge of acquiring new customers, but we weren't. Our customer retention wasn't good enough that we were basically losing money on getting new customers. So they've been let go, and the company is going to fully focus on retaining customers and not searching out new customers anymore. So all the freelancers have been let go essentially because, well, not like, okay, they weren't part of the company, but they were freelancers, but they're not really needed anymore because there's not going to be work for them to do anymore because they were doing work for new customers, which is why it was so expensive, because there was a lot of things that went into acquiring new customers. Yeah, so basically it's just a boss and two people who are going to be focused on retaining the customers and just like making the product better, if you will. And I wasn't needed for that anymore, so fair enough. I wasn't I wasn't disappointed or anything. It wasn't something I saw myself doing in 5 years anymore. Anyway, it wasn't my favorite thing in the world. So for now, anyway, after my contract has ended, I'll probably be in the, I don't know what you call it in English, but like I'll be too sick to work anyway. I haven't worked for a month, and yeah, just over a month now anyway, because I've just been feeling really bad. So yeah, I'll probably get money from the government for a bit and then start looking for a new job when I'm able to. Obviously, that'll be some time after the operation, but we'll see how that all goes. But yeah, that's news. I think that's about it. It's been over 20 minutes, so probably end it here. If you have any more questions, feel free to let me know. I should also say thank you very much to all the people who left nice comments in the previous video. I really appreciate it. There was a lot of nice comments. Anyway, that'll be that. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you all soon. I'll definitely just, every once in a while I'll release an update in regards to this. I'll keep releasing videos in general, but yeah, I've been kind of putting this one off because I didn't know exactly what to say, but yeah, just this. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you again at some point in the future with more updates, probably before the operation, I would imagine. Until then, have a good one and goodbye.